Hello students, Retirement of a Partner Lecture 1. In this video, I am going to explain first problem from Retirement of a Partner topic. I am taking this question from Telangana State Telugu Academy Inter Second Year Accountancy Textbook. But this video is useful to all commerce students who want to know about this topic. On Retirement of a Partner topic, I made 4 videos. Videos links are available in the description box. This question is also available in the description box. Let us see the problem first. X, Y and Z are partners sharing profits and losses equally. Their balance sheet as on 31st March 2020 was as under liabilities amount, assets amount. Under liability side, trade creditors 25,000 rupees, bills payable 17,000, general reserve 18,000, capitals of X, Y and Z are 40,000, 30,000 and 20,000 rupees. Asset side, cash 10,000, debtors 30,000, stock 35,000, machinery 50,000, land 25,000. Two sides totals 1,50,000 rupees. Below this balance sheet, he is giving some additional information. On the above date, Z retires from the business on the following conditions. A. Stock and machinery to be depreciated by 10%. B. Provide for bad debts at the rate of 5% on debtors. C. Land revalued at 35,000 rupees. D. Goodwill of the firm valued at 60,000 rupees. Finally, what is asking? Give necessary journal entries, ledger accounts and opening balance sheet of X and Y. This is the question. Let us see the solution for this problem. Once we observe admission related problems, suppose A and B started a partnership business. After some years, they are admitting C as a new partner. Here, A, B are known as old partners, C is known as new partner. So at the time of admission, A and B has to do some adjustments in the accounts. That is known as reconstitution of partnership firm. Here they have to prepare new balance sheet. Nothing but balance sheet of A, B and C. Directly we cannot prepare this balance sheet. To prepare this balance sheet, we need accounts. These accounts we prepare in ledger book. We have to prepare revaluation account, capital accounts of A, B and C, cash account or bank account, goodwill account. With this information, we can prepare balance sheet. To prepare accounts, we need journal entries now. So journal entries also we have to write related with admission. Now come to retirement. Suppose XYZ started a partnership business. After some years, Z is going to retire. Here, Z is known as a retiring partner. X and Y are known as continuing partners or existing partners. After Z's retirement, X and Y want to continue the business. We should not use old partners, new partner word here. Existing partners, retiring partners words you should use. In case of retirement also, we have to prepare new balance sheet. But new balance sheet contains the information of X and Y only. In case of admission, in new balance sheet, we are going to write the information of A, B, C, all the partners. But in case of retirement, new balance sheet contains the details of existing partners only. Directly you cannot prepare new balance sheet. To prepare that, we need accounts. So these 4 accounts we have to prepare in ledger book. First one, revaluation account. Second one, capital accounts of X, Y and Z. Third one, suppose to Z the due amount is paid by the existing partners immediately. In that case, as cash is going from the firm, cash account or bank account we have to prepare. Suppose the due amount of Z is not paid immediately at the time of his retirement. X and Y are transferring that amount to Z's loan account. In future, they want to pay that amount. In that case, instead of preparing cash account or bank account, we have to prepare retiring partners loan account. Nothing but Z loan account we have to prepare. Suppose To retiring partner, we have to pay 50,000 rupees. Assume that 20,000 we paid to him and 30,000 we are transferring to his loan account. So cash is going from the firm. Therefore, cash account or bank account we should prepare. As 30,000 is transferred to his loan account, Z loan account also we have to prepare. To prepare accounts, we need journal entries. These journal entries we have to pass in journal book. As this is first problem on retirement topic, I will explain the journal entries also. So first journal we prepare, then in ledger, revaluation account, capital accounts of all the three partners, and in present problem, to retiring partner, firm is not paying any amount. Our assumption is total due amount is transferred to his loan account. Therefore, Z loan account we prepare. We need not to prepare cash account or bank account because no cash is going from the firm. Finally, with the help of this information, we prepare balance sheet of X and Y. So we will start with revaluation account. While preparing the accounts, I will explain about journal entries. Let us start the solution with revaluation account. Before starting revaluation account, let us recollect revaluation account concept once. In admission also clearly explained about revaluation account concept. Suppose XYZ started partnership firm in 2015 year. In that year, assume they purchased land by paying 5 lakh rupee. So cost price of land is 5 lakh rupees. And on land, we don't provide any depreciation now. Therefore, every year in their balance sheet, land value is appearing at 5 lakh rupees. In 2020, Z is retiring from the business. In 2020, these partners inquired the market price of this land and they came to know that in outside market, land value is 8 lakh rupees. So during these 5 years, land value is increased by 3 lakh rupees. This 3 lakh is profit. When asset value increases, it is a profit. And three partners should take this 3 lakh rupees profit. So Z is also eligible to take some share of this 3 lakh rupees profit. Therefore, at the time of retirement, existing partners have to revalue the land. In case of land, if there is any increase, then that profit they have to distribute among them. Similarly, take machinery. In 2015 year, assume they bought machine for 50,000 rupees. On machinery, every year they provide depreciation now. So from 2015 to 2020, every year they provided depreciation. And in 2020, as per their books, machinery value is 25,000 rupees. This is known as cost price. But in 2020, when Z is retiring from the business, they inquired in the outside market and they came to know that machinery value is not 25,000 rupees, it is only 20,000 rupees. So as per our books, we are assuming that machinery value is 25,000. But actually machinery value is 20,000 rupees only. So asset value is decreased. Market price is less than cost price. 5,000 is the decrease here. This 5,000 is lost now. When Z is taking the profit in revaluation of asset, Z is responsible to bear the loss in revaluation of asset. Same thing in case of liabilities also. When one partner is retiring, if liability value increases, then it is a loss. Retiring partner also should bear his share in that loss. If liability value is decreasing, it is a profit. Retiring partner is entitled to take his share of that profit. So, when any partner retires from the firm, then existing partners have to revalue the assets and the liabilities. In that revaluation, if asset value increases or liability value decreases, it is a profit. If asset value decreases, liability value increases, it is a loss. So these are profits and losses we should record in one account. And finally, in revaluation of these assets and liabilities, whether profit came or loss came, they have to calculate. This profit or loss is to be transferred to all partners' capital accounts in old profit and loss ratio. So to calculate this profit or loss in revaluation of all assets and liabilities, existing partners prepare one account. That account is known as revaluation account. This is revaluation account. Revaluation account is a nominal account. While preparing this account, nominal account rule we should follow. Nominal account rule is debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains, profits. When loss comes in revaluation of asset and liabilities, if asset value decreases or liability value increases, it is a loss. We have to debit that in revaluation account. When profit comes in revaluation of asset and liability, if asset value increases or liability value decreases, it is a profit. We have to show that on credit side of this account. A, B, C. These 3 points are related with the revaluation account. See the AB? Stock and machinery to be depreciated by 10%. Stock. In old balance sheet, asset side, stock value is given as 35,000 rupees. And in adjustments, stock is to be depreciated by 10% is given. In old balance sheet, stock value is given as 35,000 rupees. And in adjustment, he is giving that stock is to be depreciated by 10%. So in admission also I explained this point. Don't think that stock we continuously used, its value is reduced, that depreciation he is asking. Stock is current asset, no. On current assets we never provide depreciation. So here this depreciation is not inter first year depreciation. In final accounts, we used to show depreciation on debit side of P&L account. No, it is not that depreciation. Here, how you have to understand, in old balance sheet, stock value is written as 35,000 rupees. Means cost price of stock is 35,000 rupees. At the time of retirement of Z, existing partners X and Y inquired in the market. And they came to know that market price of stock is 10% decreased. 10% of 35,000 is 3,500. Stock is an asset. Asset value is decreasing. It is a loss. It should be debited to stock account. Show the calculation. Stock value 35,000 rupees. Market price is decreased by 10%. 10% of 35,000 rupees. 3,500 is loss. Only that loss amount we have to show in revaluation account. Don't show cost price 35,000. Don't show market price 35,000 minus 3,500. Only 3,500 loss amount we have to show here. Next adjustment. Machinery is to be depreciated by 10%. In old balance sheet, asset side, machinery value is given as 50,000 rupees. At the time of retirement of partner, in old balance sheet, machinery value is appearing as 50,000 rupees. This 50,000 is known as cost price of asset. And existing partners inquired in the outside market, they came to know that market price of this machinery is reduced by 10%. 10% of 50,000 is 5,000 rupees. Means market value of machine is 45,000 rupees. So cost price minus market price is 5,000 rupees. So this 5,000 is loss because cost price is old value, market price is at present value of the asset. So at present value is reduced by 10% now, asset value is reduced. It is a loss. It should be shown on debit side of revaluation account. To machinery account. Cost price of machinery 50,000 rupees. On that 10% depreciation is 5,000 rupees. Adjustment number B. Provide for bad debts at the rate of 5% on debtors. In old balance sheet, debtors value is given as 30,000 rupees. Debtors value in old balance sheet is 30,000 rupees. At the time of retirement, existing partners want to provide 5% provision for bad debt on debtors. Debtor means a person who has to pay money to us. As per old balance sheet, debtor value is 30,000. But at the time of retirement, partners want to provide a provision for bad debt of 5%. No? Provision for bad debt means money may come, may not come. 5% of 30,000 is 1,500. So out of 30,000, 1500 may not come. Then the debtor amount is 30,000 minus 1500, 28,500. So debtor value is decreased. Debtor is an asset, asset value is decreasing. It is a loss. How much is the loss? 30,000 is not a loss. It is total debtor value. 28,500 is not a loss. It is the remaining amount of debtors. So how much is decreased? 1500 no? 1500 is the loss. That 1500 on debit side we should show. You have to write provision for bad debt account. Debtor value 30,000 rupees. On that 5% provision for bad debts we have to provide. 5% of 30,000 is 1500 rupees. Adjustment number C. Land revalued at 35,000 rupees. In old balance sheet, land value is given as 25,000 rupees. In old balance sheet, land value is given as 25,000 rupees. This 25,000 is cost price of land. At the time of retirement, existing partners inquired in the outside market and they came to know that today market value of this land is 35,000 rupees. Land is an asset, asset value is increased by 10,000. So if asset value increases, it is a gain. It should be credited to this account. So credit side, by land account, 35,000 rupees minus 25,000 rupees, 10,000. Revaluation related, all points we have taken in this account. Finally, we have to find out the profit or loss in revaluation of assets and liabilities. For that, debit total and credit total we should calculate. And here, credit total is 10,000, debit total is also 10,000. Means what? In revaluation of assets and liability, there is a loss of 10,000 and there is a profit of 10,000. As of loss and profit, both amounts are same. Finally, there is no profit or loss in revaluation of assets and liabilities. So revaluation account is showing a nil balance. Therefore, two sides write down the totals. Suppose credit total is more than the debit total, then the difference amount to all partners capital accounts we should transfer. Suppose debit total is 7,000 rupees. 10,000 minus 7,000, 3,000 rupees. That 3,000 is known as profit in revaluation of asset and liability. And that amount to all partners capital accounts we have to transfer. So debit side we should write 2x capital, 2y capital, 2z capital. In old ratio 1:1:1, that 3,000 rupees we should transfer. Suppose debit total is more than credit total. Say debit side total is 10,000 and the credit side total is 8,000. Then 2,000 is considered as loss because debit total is more. In that case, credit side we have to transfer that loss to all partners capital accounts in old ratio. By X capital, by Y capital, by Z capital. If it is admission, we used to transfer profit and loss of revaluation of assets and liabilities only to old partners capital accounts. But here there are no old partners, there is no new partner. All partners are old partners only. Therefore, if there is any profit or loss in revaluation of assets and liabilities, it should be transferred to all partners capital accounts in old ratio. But in present problem, there is no final profit or loss in revaluation of asset and liability. Therefore, simply put the totals and close the account. And in this problem, we are writing journal entries also now. So related with the revaluation account, two entries come here. First entry is in revaluation account, debit side we wrote 2 stock, 2 machinery, 2 PVD. Asset is decreased, asset is decreased. Here also debtor, asset is decreased. So first entry is for loss in decrease of assets. Let us see the journal entry in journal book. Revaluation account debtor, 2 stock account, 2 machinery account, 2 provision for bad debt account. Stock in credit column 3,500, machinery 5,000 rupees, provision for bad debts 1,500 rupees. Total 10,000 rupees in debit column. Narration is being the entry for loss in revaluation of assets. Come to second entry. In revaluation account, credit side we wrote a land word. So this is for increasing value of land now. Means for profit now. If you want to post like this, in journal entry, land account should be debited, revaluation account should be credited. Let us see the second entry in journal. Land account data to revaluation account 10,000, 10,000. Narration being the entry for profit in revaluation of asset. Generally, related with the revaluation account, 3 entries we should write in journal. But in present problem, only 2 entries we are writing because there is no final profit or loss in revaluation of assets and liabilities. Revaluation account is completed. Next, we have to prepare all partners capital accounts. Capital accounts of X, Y and Z. Capital accounts of X, Y and Z. Capital accounts are personal accounts. While preparing these accounts, personal account rule we should follow. Personal account rule is debit the receiver, credit the giver. If partner is the receiver, in other words, if they are retiring, then the amounts which they received, if they have to pay to firm now, all these amounts on debit side we should write. Similarly, if partner is a giver, in other words, partner has given to the firm. If they are retiring, firm has to return these amounts to them now. All these amounts on credit side we should write. First, we have to start partners capital accounts with opening balances. From where should take this opening balance? In old balance sheet, under liability side capital amounts are given now. X capital 40,000 rupees, Y capital 30,000 rupees and Z capital 20,000 rupees. These 3 amounts we have to show here. Opening balance on credit side we should write by balance brought down 40,000, 30,000 and 20,000. Why credit side we are showing opening balances? Because capital is a liability now. Liability shows a credit balance. Therefore credit side we are writing. In other words, partners brought capitals into the firm. If they retire, then firm should return these capital amounts to partners. Therefore credit side we are writing. Now once you recollect admission of partner topic, there we used to write only 2 amounts, old partners amounts, because in question he used to give the capitals of only old partners, 2 persons. But here all partners are old partners only, no? So 3 members started business, 3 members brought capital. Therefore credit side 3 amounts we should write. After writing opening balance, we should write revaluation account answer, profit or loss. But in present problem, in revaluation account, there is no final profit or loss which can be transferred to all partners capital accounts. Therefore, don't write revaluation account. Suppose in revaluation account profit came. In that case, credit side we should write that profit. By revaluation account, in 3 partners columns, 3 amounts come. Suppose in revaluation account loss came, then debit side we should write to revaluation account 3 amounts. But in present problem, you need not to write revaluation account. After that, you have to observe whether there is any accumulated profit or loss in old balance sheet. In old balance sheet under liability side, general reserve 18,000 rupees given. This is known as accumulated profit. General reserve amount is 18,000 rupees now. This 18,000 rupees we have to transfer to all partners capital accounts in old profit and loss ratio. Partners are X, Y and Z. Their old profit and loss ratio is equally they are taking profits and losses. Means 1:1:1 is the old profit and loss ratio. 3 members are there. Therefore, each partner's share is 1/3. 18,000 into 1/3 is equal to 6,000 rupees. In 18,000 rupees, each partner share is 6,000 rupees. In capital accounts, we said we should write this general reserve. At the time of retirement, firm has to pay general reserve share 6,000 rupees to partner. Firm has to pay to partner, means credit side it appears now by general reserve account. In 18,000, each partner's share is 6,000 rupees. What is the journal entry for this? In capital account, credit side we are writing by general reserve. If you want to post on credit side of capital account, in journal entry, capitals should be on credit side. And general reserve, what we wrote now? General reserve account should be debited. So entry is general reserve account data to X capital account, to Y capital account, to Z capital account. General reserve amount 18,000. In old ratio, when we transfer, each partner's share is 6,000 rupees. Narration: being general reserve is transferred to all partners' capital accounts in old profit and loss ratio. Recollect admission. In case of admission, we used to transfer general reserve only to old partners. If XY are old partners, only to them we used to transfer. But in case of retirement, to all partners we have to transfer general reserve. Next come to goodwill related bit. D point is related with goodwill adjustment. Goodwill of the firm valued at 60,000 rupees. Once you recollect admission problems, there while writing goodwill entries, we used to include the capital which is brought by the new partner. But here, no new partner is coming into the firm. Nobody is bringing capital. Already they brought capitals. For that we wrote opening balance. So as a new partner is not coming, as no cash is coming into the firm, only for goodwill we should write the entries, not for capital. Once we will recollect goodwill concept in admission of partners. For example, A and B are old partners. In an average, every year they are earning a profit of 12,000 rupees. Assume that they are sharing their profits and losses equally. As two partners are there, old profit and loss ratio is equal to 1:1. So 1/2 for A, 1/2 for B. Then in total profit 12,000 rupees, A's share is 12,000 rupees into 1/2, 6,000. B's share is 12,000 into 1/2, 6,000. And after some years, C is admitted as a new partner. Now 3 members are there. Therefore, they have to change their profit and loss ratio. No? Assume that new profit and loss ratio is also equal. Means as 3 members are there, new ratio becomes 1:1:1. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. When C is admitted as a new partner, suddenly there will not be any increase in the profits. No? So average profit is same, 12,000 rupees. Now how much amounts they get? A's profit share is 12,000 rupees into 1/3, 4,000. B's profit is also 4,000. C's profit is 4,000. Observe the old profits and new profits of A and B. Before C's admission, A and B used to get 6,000 rupees each. But after C's admission, they are getting only 4,000 rupees. So 2,000 each old partners are sacrificing to new partner. Here old partners are known as sacrificing partners and a new partner is known as gaining partner. As new partner is gaining some share of profit, new partner should pay compensation to old partners. That compensation is known as goodwill. So in case of admission, who has to pay goodwill to who? New partner has to pay the goodwill to old partners. Come to retirement. Suppose X, Y, Z are partners. Every year they are earning an average profit of 24,000 rupees and their old profit and loss ratio is equal. As 3 members are there, equal means ratio is 1:1:1. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Then each person's sharing profit is 24,000 rupees into 1/3 is equal to 8,000 rupees. Assume that Z is retiring from the firm. Now, new ratio of X and Y is also assumed equal. Only 2 members are there. Therefore, equal means 1:1, 1/2, 1/2. When Z retires, suddenly profit is not going to decrease. Same amount will continue for further years. Assume that in future also average profit is 24,000 rupees. Then X share is 24,000 into new share 1 by 2 is equal 12,000 and Y's share is same amount 12,000. So what happened here? Before retirement, X and Y used to take 8,000 rupees each. After retirement, X and Y are getting 12,000 rupees each. Here, existing partners X and Y are gaining. Therefore, they are known as gaining partners. And retiring partner Z is sacrificing his share of profit to gaining partners. Therefore, Z is known as sacrificing partners. Goodwill is to be paid by gaining partners to sacrifice partner. Here, new partner is a gaining partner, old partners are sacrificing partners. Therefore, a new partner pays goodwill to old partners. But in case of retirement, existing partners are gaining partners, retiring partner is sacrificing partner. So who should pay goodwill to whom? Gaining partners, existing partners should pay goodwill to retiring partner. So be clear with this point. In case of admission, when new partner is admitted, old partners sacrifice some portion of profit. Therefore, new partner should pay goodwill to old partners. In case of retirement, when one partner is retired, then his share of profit will be gained by existing partners. Therefore, existing partners have to pay goodwill to retiring partner. In case of admission, for goodwill we used to follow three methods now: premium method, revaluation method, memorandum revaluation method. Similarly, in case of retirement also, for goodwill there are three adjustment methods. First method is revaluation method. Second one, memorandum revaluation method. Third one is direct adjustment. In admission, we used to have premium method, revaluation method, memorandum revaluation method now. So in retirement, premium method is not there. And third one, direct adjustment method is new one. How to identify which method is to be used to adjust the goodwill? In question, he never gives clearly. Adjust the goodwill under revaluation method, adjust the goodwill under direct adjustment method. He never uses these words. By seeing the sentence related with goodwill, we should only understand which method is to be applied. First one, revaluation method. When we have to apply this method, that decision depends on memorandum revaluation and direct adjustment. Suppose in question he gave that goodwill is to be valued at 60,000 rupees or create goodwill with 60,000 rupees and write off the goodwill immediately. If goodwill is to be written off, goodwill is to be cancelled, these sentences are given. If a written off or cancelled words are given, then we should adjust the goodwill under second method, memorandum revaluation method. When third method we should apply, retiring partners' share of goodwill is to be adjusted through the capitals of existing partners' accounts without opening goodwill account. If that sentence is given, then we should apply third method, direct adjustment method. If written off word is not given and adjust the goodwill without opening goodwill account, that sentence is not given, then what is left? Revaluation method. So, if that goodwill related sentence is not applicable to second method and third method, then we should adjust the goodwill under first method, revaluation method. In present problem also, he is not using written off word. He is not giving that goodwill should be adjusted without opening goodwill account. Means we should not apply second method and third method here. Then which method is left? Revaluation method. What is goodwill related sentence? Goodwill should be valued at 60,000 rupees. What is the meaning of that? They want to create a goodwill in the firm. with its full value 60,000 rupees. This goodwill we should transfer to all partners' capital accounts in old profit and loss ratio. Let us see the entry for that. We have to create goodwill in the firm. Goodwill is asset. Asset shows a debit balance. So if you want to create any asset account, you should debit that account while writing entry. Therefore, goodwill account we have to debit. Firm should create goodwill with 60,000 rupees now. Therefore, for goodwill account, write down 60,000 rupees. This goodwill is to be transferred to all partners' capital accounts in old ratio. So capital account shows a credit balance. If you want to add any amount to capital, again you should credit capital account. If you want to deduct any amount from capital, you should debit capital account. Goodwill amount firm should pay to partner means firm wants to add that amount to partners capital accounts. Therefore, partners capital accounts we have to credit. To X capital account, goodwill amount 60,000 rupees. In old ratio we have to transfer. Old ratio is 1:1:1. X share is 1/3. 20,000 rupees. For Y and Z also same. To Y capital account. In total goodwill, Y's share is 1/3. Same amount comes 20,000. For Z also same. We are writing journal entries in this problem now. Let us see the journal entry and narration for this goodwill adjustment. Goodwill account data to X capital account, to Y capital account, to Z capital account. Goodwill amount 60,000. We have to transfer in old profit and loss ratio now. Each person share is 20,000 rupees. Narration: being goodwill is transferred to all partners capital accounts in old profit and loss ratio. Goodwill entry will post in capital accounts. In journal entry, capital accounts are credited. Therefore, in capital account, credit side we should post this entry. What to write in particulars column? Other account, debit account, goodwill account. Amounts are 20,000 rupees each. In capital accounts, all adjustments we have posted. Finally, we have to balance the capital account. Credit total is more, so credit amounts first we have to calculate. These are the credit totals. Means firm has to pay 66,000 rupees to X if he retires. 56,000 rupees to Y if he retires. 46,000 rupees to Z if he is retiring. Now who is retiring from the firm? Z. So to Z the firm is due for 46,000 rupees. If a ready cash is available in the firm, immediately at the time of retirement only firm pays that amount to Z. If cash is not available in the firm, then firm transfers that amount to Z's loan account. Let us see in the question whether immediate amount is paid to Z or not. See the additional information. Related with Z due amount, there is no information. He is not giving in the additional information that the due amount of Z is paid. If nothing is mentioned in the problem, then the meaning is the due amount of Z is transferred to his loan account. X and Y are not paying the due amount of Z at the time of his retirement. They are transferring that amount to his loan account. In future, they are going to pay that amount. Firm is not paying immediate amount to retiring partner. Therefore, for this 46,000 on debit side, you have to write to Z loan account. In Z column, write down the amount. Put the total. Come to X and Y. They are not retiring. They are going to continue in future. Therefore, firm doesn't pay their amounts to them. And the firm doesn't transfer their due amounts to their loan accounts. For their amounts, we have to write balance carried down. To balance carried down. For X, 66,000 rupees. For Y, 56,000 rupees. Put the totals. Now, what is the new entry here? Z's due amount. We are transferring to Z's loan account now. For that, one new entry comes. Entry is in Z capital account, debit side we are writing Z loan account. If you want to write like that, in entry, Z capital is to be debited, Z loan account is to be credited. So entry is Z capital account debtor to Z loan account 46,000 rupees. Let us see the entry in journal. Z capital account debtor to Z loan account 46,000 rupees and 46,000 rupees. Narration: being the amount due to retiring partner transferred to his loan account. Capital accounts of X, Y, Z are completed. Next we have to prepare Z loan account. Don't prepare cash account or bank account, because in present problem to retiring partner firm is not paying any amount and no new partner is admitted into the firm, nobody is bringing capital into the firm. So cash is not coming into the firm, cash is not going from the firm. Therefore, no need to prepare cash account or bank account. Directly Z loan account we have to prepare. This loan related entry we have to post in Z loan account. In entry, Z loan account is credited. Therefore, this entry on credit side of Z loan account we should write. In particulars column, what to write? Z capital account. By Z capital account, amount is 46,000 rupees. Only credit side we have amount. Debit side there is no amount. Therefore, balance carried down appears on debit side. To balance carried down. Same amount, 46,000 rupees. Two sides put the totals. Z loan account is showing a credit balance of 46,000 rupees. If any personal account shows a credit balance, it gives a meaning that that person is a creditor to the firm. Firm has to pay 46,000 rupees to Z. This 46,000 appears in new balance sheet under liability side. Z loan account 46,000 rupees we should show. Loan account is completed. Next, goodwill account we should prepare. In present problem related with goodwill, we have only this entry now. In goodwill account we have to post this entry. As goodwill account is debited, on debit side we have to post this entry. What to write in particulars column? We credited X capital, Y capital and Z capital. These three accounts name we should write. Amounts are 20,000 rupees. Posting is completed. Next, balancing. Only debit side we have the totals. Credit side nothing is there. So debit total is more than credit total. Therefore, balance carried down on credit side we should write. By balance carried down, total 60,000 rupees. Goodwill account is completed. In goodwill account, credit side balance carried down came. This balance is known as debit balance. So goodwill account is showing a debit balance. Means goodwill account is not yet closed. As this account is showing a debit balance, in new balance sheet asset side again goodwill amount 60,000 we should show. So remember, in case of admission and in case of retirement, if goodwill is to be adjusted under revaluation method, in goodwill account debit balance comes. That amount in new balance sheet asset side we have to show. With this, ledger is completed. In ledger, we prepared revaluation account, partners capital accounts, Z loan account and goodwill account. Finally, we have to prepare the new balance sheet of X and Y. Based on this old balance sheet and additional information, we have to prepare new balance sheet. If there is any adjustment related with a liability or asset, by considering that adjustment, we have to show that value in new balance sheet. If there is no adjustment related with any liability or asset, then that amount as it is we have to show in the new balance sheet. Liability side, trade creditors 25,000 rupees. Related to trade creditors, there is no adjustment here. Therefore, in new balance sheet, trade creditors amount 25,000 rupees as it is we have to show. Trade creditors 25,000 rupees. Next, bills payable 17,000 rupees. Related with the bills payable, there is no additional information. Therefore, in new balance sheet, bills payable same amount 17,000 we have to show under liability side. Bills payable 17,000 rupees. Next, general reserve 18,000 rupees. We closed the general reserve account by transferring this 18,000 rupees balance to all partners capital accounts in old profit and loss ratio. Now there is no general reserve account. Therefore, in new balance sheet, don't show general reserve amount. After completing liabilities, we have to observe the additional information. There is no extra liability in the adjustment. So finally, Z loan account and the capital accounts of X and Y we should show. Z loan account 46,000 rupees. Capitals of X and Y. Don't show this 40,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees here. Then which amounts we have to show here? In capital account, X and Y balance carried on amounts are there now, 66,000 and 56,000 rupees. These two amounts we have to show here. Capitals of X and Y, 66,000 rupees and 56,000 rupees. Liability side completed. Come to asset side, cash 10,000 rupees. In present problem, we are not preparing any cash account. No cash is coming into the firm, no cash is going from the firm. So in new balance sheet, cash 10,000 only we should show under asset side. Cash 10,000 rupees. Next, debtors 30,000 rupees. Related to debtors, there is one adjustment. Provide for bad debts at the rate of 5% on debtors. Debtors value in old balance sheet is 30,000 rupees. And in adjustment, he is giving that PBD, provision for bad debt, we have to provide at a 5%. 5% on 30,000, 1,500. So in balance sheet, debtors 30,000 we should write in inner column, minus PBD 1,500, remaining amount in outer column. So net debtor value 28,000 rupees, 500 in outer column. Next, stock 35,000 rupees. Related to stock, there is one adjustment. Stock to be depreciated by 10%. In old balance sheet, stock value is given as 35,000 rupees. And in additional information is giving that 10% depreciation we have to provide on stock. So in balance sheet, stock value 35,000 rupees in inner column, minus depreciation 3,500, remaining amount in outer column. So market value of stock 31,500 in outer column we should write. Next, machinery 50,000 rupees. Related to machinery, there is one adjustment. Machinery to be depreciated by 10%. In old balance sheet, machinery value is given as 50,000 rupees. On that, depreciation is to be provided at a 10%. 10% of 50,000 is 5,000 rupees. In balance sheet, machinery cost price 50,000 rupees in inner column, minus depreciation 5,000, remaining amount 45,000 in outer column. Next, land 25,000 rupees. Related to land, there is one adjustment. Land revalued at 35,000 rupees. In old balance sheet, land value is given as 25,000 rupees. It is cost price. At the time of retirement, existing partners inquired in the market, they came to know that market value of land is 35,000 rupees. In new balance sheet, market values only we should write now. Therefore, land cost price in inner column plus appreciation. Because cost price is old value, market price is new value. Market price is 35,000 and cost price is 25,000. So land value is increased by 10,000. If asset value decreases, we should write depreciation word. If asset value increases, we should write appreciation word. Depreciation we are deducting from asset value. Appreciation amount we should add to asset value. From old balance sheet, we have taken all the assets. Even adjustments also, once we have to verify any extra asset is given. There is no extra asset in the additional information. From balance sheet, we have taken all the assets and liabilities. Finally, in goodwill account, there is a debit balance of 60,000 rupees now. So remember, in case of admission and in case of retirement, if goodwill is adjusted under revaluation method, goodwill account shows a debit balance. That amount in new balance sheet under asset side we should write. Find out the totals on two sides. Liabilities total is 2,10,000 rupees. Asset side also same total comes. Thus, in balance sheet, liabilities total and assets total should be equal. Then only our problem is correct. So this is all about first problem from retirement of a partner topic. Hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you.